There's nowhere quite like Bisley Shooting Ground.
Sounds like it's the clay's fault.
It's not funny. Can I have a stool?
And after our first visit 2 years ago, this gem of a facility gained a permanent place in our hearts. Honestly, there aren't many places this close to London that I'm happy to hang out at. But this beautiful wooded shooting ground is definitely one of them.
I don't want to leave this hoop until I'm told by the boss I can leave the hoop.
So we're back, and this time, Ant has been out and bought a new gun.
So we've just been out for a little warm-up, so Ant's got no excuses with this new gun.
I have plenty of excuses with this new gun, but we've been out. That is a point.
How do you rate him and his shooting with this new gun?
And he's looking quite good with his new gun.
That's a lie, Tony. We didn't think you were a liar. Of all the things, this is Tony Brackey, by the way. Tony Brackey, phenomenal coach and shot. He's lying.
We've had a little play,
Yep.
put a bit more weight in the barrels, played with the stock. You're moving it very nicely.
But it's still going to be a long road, isn't it, before we're back up to...
But it's going to take 1,000 shells before it's like second nature.
Yeah.
The fact you've brought that out for its virgin trip, second trip, whatever that is, second virgin trip, post-virgin trip.
Post-virgin trip, there you go.
Not the most intelligent thing to bring a new gun to a competition, is it?
No, not until you settled in with it.
There's only one way to get better with things, though, isn't there?
Using it.
Speaking of which, we're back at Bisley.
Genuinely feels like a month ago we were here. This place really holds a special place in my heart. It's the most beautiful place.
Last time, we only covered a fraction of what's on offer here, so we're back to see some more, focusing on some of the sporting and Fitas options on offer here. A lot's happened in the last few years as well, from the complete renovation of the clubhouse to a big wildfire that affected this area last year. Luckily, the grounds recovered well, and the fire breaks are being used to full effect by the target setters. Of course, we'd have a competition at some point too.
A little bit of a competition somewhere at the end there.
I mean, I'd rather at the beginning, mate. You know that my stamina is pretty poor at the moment.
That's what I'm hoping. We'll tire you out.
Can you at least admit that I've been kicking your ass all morning?
He's been kicking my ass all morning.
There you go. That's all I needed. Fitas rules apply for the whole day. And seeing as you are now also the ref,
I've got to enforce them.
you have to enforce the Fitas rules. Right, let's grab some ammo. Come on. All right, nothing there you shouldn't smoke with your new toy. Why did you go for that?
Because it looks cool.
That's good enough.
And it's adjustable. I was always struggling on the longer stuff, right?
I mean, that's nothing to do with your gun. Brett, just want to point out that he just broke the rules for the first time.
Right.
He shot with a semi-mounted position. He was above his Fitas line.
I didn't shoot. You
Doesn't
called
matter
it
if you
before I
shoot.
shot.
No, it doesn't matter.
I didn't call the target.
Doesn't matter.
Didn't call the
There is
target.
no mounting. Once you started and step in the hoop, mate, there is no mounting for the whole day.
What about if I step out the hoop? What are you going to do about it
Get
then?
back in your hoop. Mate, you're moving it way better than the double E in a clay sense. Right.
So it's just going to take a bit of learning, yeah? Better get cracking then.
All done warming up, we mounted into the carts and headed across the ground to the next stand.
Oh, look at this.
Wow.
What a pretty little clearing.
We do like it.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, so it's called Sunny Side Up. We've got 4 targets here.
Last time we came here, we checked out the high tower, the grouse butts, and some of the sporting stands, and I was desperate to come and do this, but we just ran out of time. And those are some great targets.
Yeah, it's a nice contrast. Distance, speed, angles, just to keep you on your toes. Every month the targets are changed up, so come one week they could be different the next week.
That's refreshing. You see a lot of places that are very similar, not a lot of change throughout the months.
And isn't a Fitas shooter.
No.
I mean, neither am I, to be fair.
No,
But it should suit you the same as it suits me.
I don't know, you get into your habits, right? When you're shooting sporting or you're shooting game, you get into your habits of you address a bird in a certain way. Having to remember to bring it down below that line, keep it there until you've called it.
Do you stand there on peg like this?
No, but if I can hear birds coming and I hear a flush going, it may be up like that, or it may be that I've just shot one there and I'll just come back round, drop it just down out the shoulder. I don't purposely think about bringing it down every time. That's not something I do.
All right, Tony, I'm going to pass the mic over to you and step out the way.
Teach me how to shoot Fitas, Tony. Come on, man of your experience, should be able to get me on these, no bother.
So you'll have to shoot from the hoop for a start. So
I have to get in the hoop?
you have to get in the hoop. From then, you can't mount the gun at all now, so it's all gunned down. You're not allowed to mount the gun until you actually see the target. So you can't shout pull and then mount, you've got to wait till you see the target, which on some of these targets can be a bit of a distraction, because we know we push the A bird for that rabbit and it doesn't come out straight away.
No.
So you have to wait until you see it before you mount the gun.
Okay, so that would obviously change your kill point, your hold point, everything.
A lot to think about.
All right.
So we're going to start with the D bird.
Okay, gun down.
Gun down.
Oh.
Is that low enough?
Is that low enough? Yeah. Am I okay? Good. Oh.
Oh, shot out.
Oh.
Nice bit of urgency at the end there.
Little bit of a rush and a push. What about leaving the hoop? I don't want to leave this hoop until I'm told by the boss I can leave the hoop.
You can leave the hoop.
Once you've shot your last target, empty your gun, make safe, then you can come off willy-nilly. Nobody has to tell you to leave, nothing. Drop two. Every time you got me.
You shot that nicely. You shot that nicely. It's a lot to think about.
It is.
But I would have thought you'd do really well at this, so I'm kind of surprised.
Well, I thought if I'd have gone back in there again now, knowing the timings, maybe I might do a little bit better, but I just got caught out with that rabbit.
You're used to, you want 5 pairs of the same target to be able to find them. Is that your thing?
The rabbit caught me out, and then it put me off my thought train.
Good rabbit. It's 35 yards.
Broke it first time out the trap, just this time I wasn't ready for it to be where it was when I looked down. After I shot the first target, I looked down and went, oh dear, it's over there.
Sounds like it's the clay's fault.
So, do you think I should shoot that seabird earlier, Tony?
If you can buy a bit of time, but not at the detriment of losing it. If you take it in a positive way, but have a visualisation of where that second bird's going to be, because it was clear that you're way over the top and then having to hunt for it.
By the time I shot that first target, that rabbit was at my sort of 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, which is fine. Still gives you time to shoot it.
Yeah.
But you weren't expecting it there. If you were expecting it there,
I was
you would have
expecting
dealt
it here.
with That's right. Yeah.
So I had a panic to push the shot over the top of it.
Yeah.
Clear over the top of it. Knew where I was, just put the gun in the wrong place.
That's it.
Right.
So we're going to try again, but this time, know where it's going to be.
A new gun is a fun thing to get for sure, and sometimes you're lucky enough to have a gunny move. That's a short-lived spike in performance. Other times it'll take 1,000 or so shells to get to grips with how a gun moves and shoots.
I'm just a terrible shot, mate, and that's the excuses I'm having.
Go on, next pair.
And was definitely experiencing the latter with his new 692 Black.
You shoot completely different to me, we know that, on certain targets.
Yeah, answer.
So what works for you might necessarily work for Andy.
How do you shoot other than slowly?
Slowly, exactly. I swing through everything, you know that. I'm a game shot. And you don't do that. You do maintained on some, you place the gun into a position and wait for it to come at you. See, that's where I need to get into. I need to get into that, seeing the target, seeing the shot, just being able to pull the trigger in the right place. For me, it's got to be a process.
So another contrast in targets. Some close, some slow, some fast, some that can appear from out of nowhere. From the hoop.
All right.
Yep.
Let's get him shot. What are you worried about?
Nothing at all.
That batu, I didn't even see it till it appeared over the tree.
Well, neither did I, but that's why I broke it after the tree.
Oh, fair enough. Oh. Oh. Oh, I went over the top of that. It's actually coming down quite seriously as well.
His target was a pig. A 35-yard midi crossing high overhead on full spring.
You should start considering where do you think you are missing it.
I think I'm going over the top of it.
Okay. So
I
what
think
do you need to do to stop doing that?
Shoot a little bit further underneath it.
Okay. So, great, you got the line right, but what's the other consideration?
Lead.
So, 2 factors. We've got to get the right line and then we've got to get the right lead.
So what are we talking about? Are we talking a big gap, Johnny? Did you give it a big gap? Because I think I'm giving it a pretty big gap at the minute.
I don't know about gap. I used a lot of gun speed. Started behind it and just whack.
Right. Okay.
So if you're not doing the whack, your perception of the lead could be bigger.
All right, let's try a bit bigger.
Just looked like you thought, right, just going to go bigger and just pushed out there, and it all falls into place.
He did shoot that pre-mounted.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Don't start. I hit it. You should be happy I hit it. Thank you.
Well done, Ed.
Can I just say, well shot.
Thank you. I rarely get compliments.
Pleasure to watch you shoot that, mate.
Well, I'm nearing the 1,000 cartridge mark, you see.
Ah, okay. There we go. Once I get there, mate, I'll be as good as you, hopefully, one day. Right, what's next?
I'm thinking, I want to go back to the grouse butt. That is hands down, like, was my highlight.
That was nice, yeah. Can we go back to
We
it?
can.
Bisley requires you to be caddied on the course, so you need to pre-book to avoid disappointment. The plus side of this is that your caddy can let you shoot from pretty much anywhere, providing it's safe.
Challenge yourself.
Taking advantage of this, we stepped back 50 meters, loaded up some sovereigns, and had another go at the midi and the batu. It took a few shots, but we eventually cracked it.
So somebody's very pleased with himself.
Yeah, well done, Johnny.
That was a hell of a long way.
5 shots.
But
That is a large gap.
how nice is it to be able to just work your way back, come back, get even further, and try and shoot some real monster targets?
I think that is one of the most special things about Bisley, right? And as much as it annoys me that it's caddied only,
Yeah.
because I'm not organised enough to do that. Although I appreciate that is what allows this kind of playing to exist, and that is super special, right? How many grounds can you, as you said, all right, let's shoot ourselves a 80-yard crosser.
But we couldn't just let anyone walk her up and just wander about.
No.
We've got to try and, it's got to be
Controlled.
This is
controlled.
it.
Yeah, that freedom's rare, and that's what makes it special.
In the grouse stand, surrounded by heather, Ant's talents revived. And he just couldn't miss.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone have to stand on their tiptoes in a grouse butt
To
before
see
to
it
see
over
out.
the top.
I am literally like seeing the heather wafting over my barrel when I'm swinging.
Would you like me to find you a box?
It's not funny. Can I have a
Little
stool?
box.
Those Beretta pants are too tight for you doing that, mate.
Thank you for this morning. I've really enjoyed shooting Fitas with you. We've
Yeah.
planned out how to play it over the years. It's nice to see you with your new gun and, well, actually with a few pointers, finding a bit of,
Yeah, it's been nice to have Tony here just tidying it up, you know?
yeah.
We can all go in there and we can shoot a certain amount of target. To be able to learn how to do it properly and hopefully with a bit of consistency, it's been nice. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate
Pleasure.
it, mate.
But we need a competition, don't we?
We do.
30
Mine.
bird sporting, 3 stands.
Well, earlier, wasn't he talking about how much of a sporting shot it was? It's not a Fitas shot, it's a sporting shot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. It was more the rules. I just don't follow rules very well, mate. That was the idea.
Luckily at Bisley we've got it all.
It was decided that the competition would be held on 3 stands of sporting clays with 5 true pairs on each. The first stand was a simple enough pair of teal, and Ant walked off ahead of me with a straight, putting the pressure on.
Oh, you cheeky bastard. What did you do that for? I just let it go half a second longer thinking I'd be clever. Turns out, wasn't that clever, was it?
Corporate clays.
Right, what we've discovered is you're just a corporate man nowadays.
That's it, yeah.
Next up was a quartering teal and rabbit that stepped the tempo up a notch.
9 out of 10.
Mate, you are a better sporting shooter, look at you.
It's been a change of joke. You're not that guy now, are you?
I figured at a 10-yard target, improved modified might not be ideal. I want that
I
big.
didn't think you were ever going to be that man. We said about them men that pull up to a stand and go, wah, I changed my choke, wah. Bisley holes.
Ooh, whole
quite
Bisley
cool, isn't it?
special loads. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels good in the shoulder.
yeah.
Whether that makes any difference on the course, I don't know. I'm sure Mr. Bontoff will be
No,
able to tell us,
whatever
but-
you're shooting seems to be working well for you, mate. Stick to pro fibre for the rest of your life.
Ant now had a big lead. and with my spirit broken, I couldn't even hit this simple going away pair.
This is heartbreaking, isn't it?
And however, cleaned up.
After watching them flounder around all morning as well.
In his natural habitat now. Oh, well shot.
I got one back, mate, on the day I least expected it.
Mate, that was some impressive finishing.
A new gun, Tony over my shoulder.
Mate, it's all it
Talking me
took.
into the new gun. You setting the gun up for me this morning, mate.
Mate, you deserved this win. Because if you'd have lost with the gun that you just bought, I feel bad. I mean, I do feel quite bad anyway. As we say, you can buy success.
You can buy success. Invest a bit of money and it's there. You shot phenomenally well this morning. The batteries just run out, right?
Yeah, I think when I walked into that very simple stand up there and found it quite difficult, it was all going to be downhill from there.
I think so.
You know how to beat me now, don't you? Get me to about lunchtime, haven't taken the meds or the sugar or any of the good stuff. You deserve the win tactically, if nothing else.
Thanks, mate. That's 2-1.
2-1.
No, right?
That's not really a great consolation after the worst sporting clays shooting I've done in a very long time.
But realistically, mate, you wiped the floor with me down there.
Oh, mate, this is nice. We could be nice to each other more often.
No, we can't. No, Tony, he was terrible, wasn't he?
Not so good when he got up here, but down the bottom. But it's nice to have the stark contrast in targets.
This is it. I mean,
Nice and easy for corporate events.
yeah.
Nice and hard down the bottom for the serious shooters.
This is a real shooter's ground, and once again delivered an amazing few hours of fun.
Oh, shot, eh?
With a great location and atmosphere, a top team, and a good array of targets that get changed real often, they've got everything covered.
I wanna wander out of the valley where the wind.
If you haven't been yet, get yourself booked on a practice session, which doesn't cost as much as you would have thought, and come and learn why we love it so much.
Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.